Hello, and welcome to my tutorial on how to install and configure the disk version of the 2006 PC port of Devil May Cry 3. First, you need to mount the ISO. You can use any mounting program. I choose to use WinCD-EMU. First of all, you have to choose the drive letter and then pick data disk as the disk type. Then you simply mount it. After that, you can run the autorun exe, which will start the installation process. Then you click install. Note that the installer has gibberish in it unless you change your system language to Japanese. Click next. Then choose the upper option, as in you have read the license agreement or whatever. Click next. Paste the CD key provided. Click next. Pick the default option, which is the upper one, and click next. Then choose the directory where you want to install the game. Note that you have to manually type the folder where you want to install it, unless it's not already there, because it will not by itself create that folder. Then click next, and then wait until the installation is complete. Once it's complete, click Finish. It will create a shortcut on your desktop if you had that option ticked. That's all you need to do if you're going to play with a keyboard.
Sweet dreams.
If you want to play with a controller and also make the game run a lot better, you need to first patch it and then install the StyleSwitcher mod. From the PC Gaming Wiki, download the update for the Japanese version. The default version is 1.000 and the update is 1.300. Extract the update file and then run it. If you check the properties of DMC3SE exe, you can see in the Details tab that the file version is 1.0.0.0, and that will change if you successfully run the updater. Execute the update exe and check that everything is okay and click Start. If for some reason the Start is grayed out and you cannot click it, you have to follow a tutorial made by Project XInput, which requires you to hack the Windows registry to make this work. Next, it's time to install StyleSwitcher. You can download it from Nexus Mods, which requires a login, or from speedrun.com from the game's leaderboard in the resources section. Make sure you read the documentation.html and follow it to the T. If you do something wrong here, then it will not be installed correctly and you can find all sorts of issues. First, make sure that you've installed the Visual C++ 2015 runtime executables from Microsoft. Do not download them from any other source except Microsoft's official. Then move or copy the contents of the bin folder into the Devil May Cry 3 root directory. Then run install.bat. Next, you will have to choose whether you play with a keyboard only or with a gamepad. Since you're doing this to play with a gamepad, you pick option number 1. Press enter. Next, you need to download XInput Plus. This site will take some time to load for whatever reason, so just be patient. Then run XInput Plus exe and follow the instructions. Click Select, navigate to the root folder and choose the DMC3SE exe. Then click on Direct Input. Tick the box that says Enable Direct Input Output. Then next to the LTRT drop-down menu, choose button 11/12. Next to Guide, choose button 13. And click Apply and OK. You may need to copy over the DMC3SE.ini file that you can find on the speedrun.com resources section. And you may need to configure your controller using the Windows Game Controllers setting. You can access it by running joy.cpl. You need to make an entry in the DMC3SE.ini for your controller. The name of the controller must be the exact same as the Windows Game Controller configuration shows you. And the buttons that you see there must be one less than what the Windows setting actually shows you. And you can test it in the Windows Game Controller configuration and obviously in the game to see that the effects take place and your controller works as it's supposed to. Here you can see some of the important settings in StyleSwitcher.ini. Make sure that the field of view is set to 0.5 and the resolution is whichever you prefer, but running at 60 FPS. The arcade mode is a useful tool for practicing. When you turn it on, you type arcade equals 1, then you choose the mission, the mode, which is the difficulty, then the character, then whether you want to go to Bloody Palace or not, which equipment you want, which costume, how much HP and DT you have, which style you have, and what room you want to spawn in. All of these are written in the documentation HTML, so check them out. The hotkeys are turned on by default, which are F1 through F6. The most useful one being F1, which restarts the room, so you can practice something like gigazip over and over without having to restart the entire mission. F2 will not let anything die, including the player and the enemies. F3 is a one-hit kill, essentially heaven or hell mode. F4 hides the HUD. F5 toggles the bloom effect, which does make the game look better in most places, but the reason why it's turned off for runs is because mission 18 will color the bosses in their boss rush the same as the background, so they're hard to see. The bottommost settings are about the sound and the system. The disable sound driver is the most important because it disables any background music that would make the game lag. If you still want to have the music, you can use the music player made by Hyas that is linked in the GitHub. Also make sure that Force Mode 0 is turned on. You can change the language as well. 0 is Japanese, which is the fastest one. Furthermore, make sure that these settings are set like you see them on the screen, because for some reason the StyleSwitcher tends to have these set wrongly. So you will have an extra error dash in Devil Trigger, which is not normal. That's it. Happy running.
Devil May Cry.